Welcome to the Thin Line Podcast, a platform dedicated to amplifying the voices of those who serve or have served in the military, law enforcement, fire service, EMS, and beyond. I thought it would also be give a unique perspective to also offer a voice to those who might be on the other side of the law. I was introduced to Torie Chisholm when he was 15 years old. He was locked up for robbery. He's currently still locked up. He's 37 years old from the same charges. He has 2 kids. And this is the conversation that I had with Torie.
This is a prepaid debit call from an inmate at the Virginia Department of Corrections, Lawrenceville Correctional. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL.
Yeah, hey, good afternoon.
Hey, Torie, how's it going?
Everything okay? No, staying focused.
Glad to hear that. I was not too bad. I was figuring out the recording situation, so I was at Target earlier picking up voice recorder so we can capture all of your story.
Well, yeah, that's good. So whenever you're ready, you want to go in, you could just go in and we'll get it straight. I don't know. Do you want to get the recording? You accepting my call too?
Yeah, no, yep, I got it. So it's rolling. So I guess for future calls, should I just have the recording going at all times, and then can edit it and whatnot?
All right.
That works for you?
Yeah, it works for me.
I was and also like this is all about you. So however frequently you want to do this, I was thinking maybe if we touch base once a week and do like a half-hour recording and then share it to the world.
Oh yeah, we could do that. We could definitely do this like once a week, and yeah, and we can let them know the journey. And being that I go for parole in July, that could bring attention and have people like, okay, he goes home next year. And they're gonna let him out. It's an anticipation. So why would they keep holding somebody that's been locked up since they were 15 years old for a while? It doesn't make sense when I'm already about to go home next year anyway.
I was blown away, talking with you yesterday and you sharing the details, and I didn't have the recorder going, but yeah, I guess if you want to kind of start from the top about what got for whatever reason why you're incarcerated and just kind of your life's journey.
Well, I'm originally from New York, Queens, from Rockaway. I went to PSI for I went to a Catholic school, St. Mary's. I went to I-53 Middle School. Yeah, and I had a pretty much good childhood. Of course, family struggle a little bit, but I pretty much had everything that I needed and some of the things I wanted. So my neighborhood was always like blood. So blood in my area was predominantly like the deepest. So I grew up being around them, knowing them. As a teen, my mom ended up moving down south, and I was still staying in New York for a while, but then I ended up moving down south.
Where did you where did you move to when you went to Virginia? Where did you move in Virginia?
Where or when?
Both.
Well, I pretty much moved in Virginia not even long. So I would say like in 2003, yeah, we moved to Virginia. And we was in Richmond area, the capital of Virginia. In Thompson and Racco, so which is the county in Richmond. Yeah, and but I used to be in Richmond, and so I hung around who my cousins and the individuals that I was familiar with. So my cousin, who was originally from New York, and the individuals that he was hanging with, who were, you know, girls from New York. So it was already the same environment and same individuals that I already know or knew of where I was at in New York. So it was familiar to me. Yeah, so I was going to school, I was going to high school, and then I ended up getting a female pregnant. Um, and then, I had one kid on the way. So, you go to the individual that you're close with to get it right. You want to, because I'm a young man with no father figure. So you going to the adults and ask them what they think. So I'm selling drugs. I'm trying to get to a bag. I'm trying to get this money. Not knowing that I was on crash. Like it was already beginning. So I started hustling at first. I had a toddler, my daughter, and then I had another child. So I was a young teenager making dumb decisions, not wrapping it up like an idiot. But I wasn't thinking at the time. And from there, I'm like, well, damn, I need more money. I mean, like, I don't know what to do. There's no way. And so the individual that I know and confided in was like, shit, it's an easier way than just grinding and waiting on the hustle. We could start hitting licks, which is robbery. And that's how I ended up starting to rob. Taking the advice of people that didn't give a fuck about me or themselves. They just wanted somebody to pretty much go on robberies with that they know that they had a good influence on to pretty much get them to do what they needed to be done. And yeah, so we was hanging around college. It's the college area in Richmond, VA. Virginia Union, Richmond University, but we were hanging around a lot of college females and all. So the typical thing they people getting high, selling drugs, college scene, but we ended up going on a robbery with her and she was a driver. This is how everything started crashing down. We went on the robbery with her, got away, everything was good, and then she had some stolen merchandise in um her apartment that was really like for um females or any college students that go to the college. But it wasn't a dorm. But they get like a certain amount of money off their rent. Um and so I guess she needed money at the time, so she went to pawn the laptop that was in a robbery considered, you know, and when she pawned it, her and another grown adult and pawned it came back in a robbery. And he went straight to a school at GNU, locked her up. And then from there, she a college girl, never been in trouble in her life. She did what she was gonna do, what she's supposed to do, and try to get herself, out of getting into any real trouble. even though she knew what was going on, and she pretty much played parts in some of the things that was going on, but she played her role and knew that she never been in trouble before. She's a female, and you know, she basically, blamed everybody else. And then that's how everybody got locked up. And I say this, everything, me telling my story respectfully to all victims, because, you know, I shouldn't have been robbing, and none of us should have been robbing, period. You know what I mean? So it's like, I would never tell my story and make it seem like I didn't do anything wrong. I shouldn't have been doing it. So I always say that with respect to the victims because they didn't ask for none of this to happen. And I'm very compassionate to what they, for what they went through. You know what I mean? I'm sorry for what I did. I was young. I shouldn't have been doing it, but I take full responsibility for my part and what I did. Now, do I feel like I should have been locked up? Yeah. With all honesty, I feel like I should have paid my debt to society, which I have done. But I feel like the world would not feel like, no matter the race and who you are, whatever background you come from, that for the crimes that I did and took part of, I should not have gotten that extreme sentence the way that I have, that they gave me.
Can you share the sentence that you got again?
Well, originally it was 300 years. And then they suspended some of it, and then it was 47 active years straight to do.
As a 15-year-old, what?
As a 15-year-old that never been locked up ever before prior to this, don't have no prior history of violence, ever being locked up, period.
So I was doing the math, and it's got to be painful, but just knowing that you got locked up at 15 and what, you're 37 years old now?
Yeah, facts. Yeah, so I'm 37. And, prison preserved me. So I was blessed enough, to keep my mind right, make sure my health right, keep, always stay focused. I always worked on my physical and my mental. So I had to educate myself in here. And, I worked out in order to keep my youth and make sure that when I get out of here, I'll be better than I was when I came in here. Because a lot of times being in prison, this shit eat people alive. It breaks them down. And I pride myself in being strong-minded. And I ain't let that happen.
I know yesterday you were telling me, going into prison as a 15-year-old that, you said you kind of went in with an attitude that's like, all right, I'm not going to be like a little punk here. Can you talk about, those early years experiences of, going into prison?
Well, I'm saying this, right? When I first got locked up, I probably was like, I was only in the juvenile for 90 days. They took me straight to the jail. So I'm around grown men. Nothing never happened to me, period. I knew in the way that I was, built, I know I had to stand on 10 toes. So my commissary never got taken, and I never been intimidated in no way because I knew, like, either you show that you don't fear nobody or you're going to be the prey in prison or in jail. And then mind you, I'm not even from Virginia. So that's straight to this. And I'm from New York. And at that time, deep down, people didn't like New Yorkers. You feel me? So it's like I had a lot of things going against me. So from there, I'm 16 in jail. Then from 17, I go straight to a level 5 supermax prison, sentence 1.
Can you share a little bit of the differences in a supermax prison?
Well, supermax prison is turned up, and this one really gangs really started getting crazy in Virginia. So it's like it was mayhem everywhere. You get stabbed over the phone. You gotta go hard. You're not getting on these phones if you don't go hard. A bump could cause a riot, just bumping into somebody. Everybody's always on 10. It's always hostility and chaos. One simple argument could turn into somebody dying. You know, in prison, the most times I've seen people that was on level 5 Supermax prisons, and I've been there 3 times to different ones. And yeah, I've been in them tight fights. I've been stabbed before. You know what I mean? I was lucky. I'm thinking, dude, acting tough. I get to fighting with him at that prison. He had a knife on him the whole time.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? So I'm young, a teenager. I ain't thinking it's real like that, but I earned my respect because I saw somebody with a knife. I ain't had one, and then I ain't tell. So I went to the hole, we did it, and I passed my own rules. I ain't get a medical or nothing. And that's how I started building my rep up. Like, oh, now younger, he official. You know what I mean? It was a lot. To have to become like violent at a young age and have to show like you're not gonna be a punk or be prey to people that got life sentences and grown men when I should have been in a juvenile facility. Or I should have had mental health treatment to see why did I do these crimes at a young age. I should have been given juvenile life, which would have been till I was 21 years old. But yet they gave me 37 years, which is pretty much life. Because they give you state. What they do, they give you 20 to life. So that let in the legal terminology, 20 years is pretty much life.
It's just like an extraordinary punishment for a 15-year-old.
Exactly.
Did you, I guess, since your time in, being incarcerated, has there been any, like, cellmates that have kind of mentored or any special relationships that, you'd only form being incarcerated?
Yeah, you have a lot of intelligent individuals in prison. A lot of people don't know you have people that was bank tellers, doctors, cops, judges, engineers, electricians, people that was into stocks. You have a lot of people in prison that have prestige careers. And then you have self-taught individuals that's very intelligent. So that's what I had to do. I had to start educating myself. So I went and finished and got my GED. Then I started, I got a permanent trade. And then I started being a mentor. But this later on, after I started getting wise. But it was definitely older individuals. They used to try to sit me down like, look, youngin, it ain't over yet. Stay focused, believe in yourself, try to get up off that time. Always trying to get me words of wisdom, always giving me knowledge, telling me like, yo, it ain't over. Learn something because when you get your chance, you want to be able to execute on it. And that's what I did. So it was a handful of people that I definitely look at as older brothers and great friends that is solid all the way around the board. Most definitely.
Are you able to, I'm guessing because they might be moving around and, people getting out of prison, are you still able to keep in touch with a lot of those men?
Yeah, because, prison is a place where you just keep going to the same places, so you got to think I've been locked up time. So a lot of the young dudes think I'm young because I still look young. But a lot of the old dudes feel like I'm like one of them because they watch me be raised in prison. And they see my growth. So I would be close.
You have 1 minute remaining.
I would be close with people and then don't see them for 2-3 years because we're not prison then into another prison and meet back up with them. But you got conference calls and people keep in touch through emails and things like that. So, and one thing I learned is the universe and the world from prison to prison and in the outside world is very connected. The way that we communicate with each other, so it's easy to get messages to each other. It's easy to stay in tune with the world. A lot of times prison, we be creating the lingo for the street.
Yeah.
We the way for real.
If this cuts off, you want to try call me back? Okay.
Thank you for using TTL.